Paige, I know you've been asked a lot about it, but now that you finally have played a game against Caitlin in the W, just what was it like? What was the atmosphere like today going head-to-head with her?
Paige Bueckers didn't just walk out of Gainbridge Fieldhouse with an 83-102 bruise on the scoreboard. She might have carried a bigger chip than anyone realized. On paper, the story was clear. Caitlin Clark logged 14 points, 13 assists, and 5 steals, becoming the fastest player ever to clear 200 points, plus 100 assists in only 12 games, while engineering a franchise record 64-point first half for Indiana. But here's where the whispers start. League insiders have murmured all season that some guards are tired of living in Clarkonomics. The ratings, the billboards, the billion-dollar valuation talk. Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman even went on record begging peers to stop being petty and embrace the cash cow. So when Paige froze the press room with a four-word answer, she's smart. That's it.
And there are levels between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers. And this is not, and I mean this when I say this, we are not slandering Paige Bueckers here. We're not calling Paige Bueckers overrated.
Fans wondered if that was polite restraint or a quiet shot at the hype machine. There's another subplot fans keep revisiting, the Team USA snub. A new book claims USA Basketball feared social media backlash if Clark rode the bench. Plus, a farewell present roster spot for Diana Taurasi allegedly shrank openings to 11. Unverified, yes, but critics say the decision effectively pitted rising stars against one another in a popularity contest. If Paige feels she's now auditioning nightly just to share oxygen with a marketing juggernaut, that could explain the icy glare more than any box score stat. None of this is confirmed fact. Call it informed rumor, locker room gossip, maybe even message board myth. Still, the timing is too perfect to ignore. Whether jealousy, Olympic politics, or plain competitive fire sparked Paige's.
Paige Bueckers! You play chess, I play checkers. Oh, Paige, oh, Paige, oh, Paige.
Post-game frostbite. One thing is undeniable. The rivalry just leapt from ESPN Chiron to WNBA folklore, and the next chapter already smells like smoke. The hype machine that swallowed July. Picture this. Tickets vanish in 60 seconds, scalpers gleefully post four-figure screenshots, and casual fans who still mispronounce Bueckers line up just to glimpse warm-ups. Fever Wings on July 13th looked less like a midsummer regular season clash and more like a sneak preview of a billion-dollar future. Why? Because for 3 straight years, the phrase Paige versus Caitlin morphed from social media slogan into a cultural auction. Every podcast speculated, every network shoved the tip-off to primetime, and league partners quietly high-fived as Clark's effect kept swelling franchise valuations toward that whispered $1 billion mark. Yet beneath the confetti lay tension.
There are 2 key WNBA players that are on a different level than the rest of the WNBA. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she's even another step up from the person that finished second.
Clark's highlight packages pump adrenaline into TV ratings. But critics claim her spotlight dims everyone else's shine. Veterans hint at jealousy-tinged fouls. Legends like Nancy Lieberman publicly begged the league to embrace the cash cow. The marketing machine roars, but the locker rooms rumble. And when Dallas flew into Indy, both teams knew the hype was louder than the arena speaker. Still, hype alone can't win a game. Cue the carnage. Fever, masterclass, 64-point gut punch. First quarter, competitive. Second quarter, massacre. Indiana ripped off a 36-point frame on 16 for 21 shooting, part of a franchise record 64-point half. That left Dallas staring at the scoreboard like it was a typo.
It was a beatdown from pillar to post, from start to finish. After the first quarter, this game was not close, never was close, never got close.
Clark orchestrated the chaos. Cross-court lasers, looping lobs, and those signature skip passes that hit shooters in rhythm a split second before defenders even realized their beat. By night's end, she'd collected her 5th double-double with points and assists, sprinting toward the fastest 200-point 100-assist milestone in league history. But it wasn't a solo act. Aaliyah Boston bullied the paint. Kelsey Mitchell sliced from the wings. Sophie Cunningham played like every possession was a personal score settler. Together, they turned Gainbridge Fieldhouse into a carnival where only the home fans got cotton candy. The Wings? Stuck on the wrong ride, screaming through 18 turnovers in a transition defense nightmare, Paige would later roast with brutal honesty. And yet, lost in the blowout, Paige quietly loaded the chamber. Paige's silent fire, 21 that felt like 40 amid the fever frenzy. Paige kept the scoreboard from outright humiliation. Mid-range pull-ups that barely brushed nylon, a step-back three so casual it looked rehearsed in slow motion. By halftime, she'd logged 15 points on 60% shooting, finishing with 21 4-4s despite defenders draped on her shoulders. But highlights don't equal hope when transition defense collapses. Dallas crashed 4 to the glass, forgot the cardinal rule, 2 back at all times, and paid with runouts that ballooned the deficit to uncatchable. Fans cried stat padding when Paige stayed aggressive late. Wrong. Her coach needed rhythm, confidence, and a psychological anchor for the next grind. Paige provided it silently. No chest pounds, no stare downs. She let her jumper talk, saving her words for the microphones waiting in the tunnel. Because upstairs, the real fireworks were set to explode. Mic drop moment, 4 seconds that shook the room. Reporters shuffled, cameras clicked, and Paige Bueckers settled behind the podium with that barely there half smile that says she's already dissecting the headline. First question, transition woes? She didn't sugarcoat. Mostly just getting back, maybe crashing too many, missed shots, turnovers. They got easy offense. Translation, we were lazy. No excuses, no teammate protection, just honesty sharper than a surgeon's scalpel. Yet, then came the question, what was it like facing Caitlin at last? Paige inhaled, stared dead ahead, and served a plate of chilled candor. Yeah, it's fun. We're competitors who want to win. Grew up playing against each other. Pause. Great environment here. Period. Respectful on the surface, but the unspoken subtext roared, I'm not bowing to the hype. A follow-up about injured teammate Kayla, 1-sentence empathy, 0 theatrics. Paige's message was clear, friendships can wait, right now it's war. And when someone probed the turnovers Clark personally picked off, Paige answered, she's a smart player. That's it. 4 words, 4 seconds, 40,000 retweets by breakfast. The rivalry was no longer fan fiction, it was gospel. But the tension isn't just personal, there's a storm brewing league-wide, storm beneath the smile. Jealousy, bruises, and whistle. Clark leaves games with ice bags and bruises. Social media erupts over hard fouls and alleged ref leniency. Her groin tweak on July 15th amplified the debate, especially after her brother's fiery post blasted cheap shots. Meanwhile, pundits like Dave Portnoy nuked the WNBA for not protecting its superstar, while older pros roll their eyes at outsider outrage. Inside locker rooms, whispers float. Is Clark's stardom redistributing paychecks? Do broadcast promos focus too tightly on #22? Paige's icy press room demeanor felt like a pin popping that balloon. Proof that players are done tiptoeing around the elephant in the arena. Money talks, but pride yells back. And when pride mixes with elbows, sparks fly. Remember, sparks can light fires that rewrite history. History of bad blood, from AAU gyms to sold-out arenas. Long before corporate sponsors learned to pronounce their names. Paige and Caitlin were trading daggers at Nike National, squeezing into all tournament photos with forced smiles. In 2021, they split Naismith votes like custody, fueling online wars between Minnesota and Iowa fandoms. College duels, 20-plus lead changes, snowstorms of three-pointers, added chapters, while Team USA camp omissions sparked rumors of political snubs. Every slight piled up like kindling. A skipped handshake here, a sly emoji tweet there, and by draft night, 2025, the stage lights couldn't hide the fireworks simmering under draft day hugs. July 13th wasn't the beginning. It was the public unveiling of a feud 10 years in the making. And buried inside that feud lies a cold truth about basketball hierarchy. Levels to the game. Assassin versus ecosystem. Paige is a mid-range assassin. Footwork so precise, it deserves a patent. Elevation so smooth, the net barely twitches. Give her 15 clean looks and she'll cash 12. But her offense flows inward. Catch, jab, rise, splash. It's solo artistry, paintbrush on canvas. Caitlin is an ecosystem. Pull-up logo threes that warp gravity, no-look bullets that turn role players into scorers, audibles that rearrange defenses before the ball crosses half court. She can shoot 4 for 12 and still create 40-plus points of total offense in 24 minutes. She's the conductor. Everyone else becomes an instrument. That's why July 13th felt lopsided despite Paige's pretty line. Leadership isn't volume, it's influence radius. Paige will drop buckets you'll replay in slow-mo. Caitlin will bend an entire game to her blueprint. And until someone marries both skill sets, the debate is settled for now. But the calendar refuses to freeze. Rematches loom. What happens next? Roadmap to round 2. Circle the date. August 8th, Dallas again visits Indy. If Clark's groin heals and Paige's workload doesn't balloon her minutes limit, we get Chapter 2. Playoff positioning will hang in the balance. Endorsement executives will salivate. And every possession will feel like it's filmed in IMAX. Beyond that lies Olympic trials, marketing deals, and maybe a finals meeting before 2030. Imagine a Christmas Day showcase with Caitlin launching logo bombs at Madison Square Garden, while Paige counters with clinic-level footwork. Picture sneaker commercial scripts writing themselves. Choose your weapon, range, or rhythm. This rivalry could elevate broadcast rights, jersey sales, and yes, opponents who sharpen iron against iron. Yet big stakes breed bigger stakes. Every hard foul will echo through clips, every quote parsed for shade. The WNBA wants the smoke, because smoke means eyeballs. But smoke also stings if left unchecked. Protecting stars without neutering competition is the tightrope the league must walk, and Paige's press room grenade just shook the rope. So let's bring it all home. Paige Bueckers didn't flinch under the Indiana lights, but she did pull back the curtain on the polite rivalry charade. Her 21 points proved she belongs. Her 4-second stare proved she believes belonging isn't enough. Across the aisle, Caitlin Clark keeps rewriting record books at warp speed, dragging franchise revenues and league valuations along for the ride. 2 philosophies, 2 personalities, 1 collision course. Now the question is yours. Will you ride with the assassin who lets her jumper do the talking, or the ecosystem that turns every pass into a promise? Drop Team PB or Team CC below, because the fence just shattered under the weight of this clash. And we've got daily updates coming hotter than a Clark skip pass into the corner. Stay tuned. The next chapter is already warming up.